In the stark, frozen vastness of the Arctic, where the relentless cold paints a world of ice and shadow, a haunting figure lumbers through the drifting snow. This isn't just any polar bear. This is a living canvas of nature's darker tales, a beast marked by a gruesome barnacle wound that chills the soul as much as the polar winds. At first glance, you might expect a pristine symbol of icy wilderness, but instead, what meets your eyes is a pus-filled, festering patch of rough, calcified invaders hammered into the very flesh of the bear. To understand this horrific tableau, we must dive beneath the surface, into an eerie symbiosis that is as scientifically fascinating as it is grotesque. Barnacles, those tiny crustaceans usually clinging harmlessly to rocks and ship hulls, have taken a far more sinister turn in this context. Imagine millions of these hard-shell parasites, normally suited for static lives stuck to the ocean floor, managing to hitch a ride on the striking white giant of the north. Their presence on a polar bear is no casual inconvenience, it's a devastating infestation. They latch onto the bear's skin, the sheer pressure and constant moisture from the melting ice creating a perfect breeding ground. These barnacles embed themselves aggressively, sharpening their plates like jagged little daggers, drilling into the skin, causing deep wounds, rubbing raw, and creating lesions that seep and smell faintly of rotting seaweed and saltwater decay. The wounds compound relentlessly as the bear moves, each step stirring the salty brine and allowing bacteria to claim their gruesome party. It's almost grotesquely poetic. The polar bear, a majestic predator atop the Arctic food web, is reduced to a wounded host, a mobile reef of crustacean horrors. The barnacles benefit from the bear's warmth and movement, spreading their infestation like a creeping disease. The bear's thick fur offers little respite. Barnacles anchor themselves so tenaciously that the bear's attempts to shed them through scratching or swimming often result in fresh abrasions. When the bear rests, these colonies thrive, feeding off the sloughed skin and fatty secretions, turning the bear's body into a living petri dish of fungal growth and decay. The healing process is continually sabotaged by this infestation. Wounds refuse to close, thickened scar tissue forms around the barnacles, patches of fur fall out, revealing sickly pallid patches of infected skin. The barnacle in the icy waters of the Arctic, a haunting sight emerges. A beluga whale, its once smooth skin marred by a grotesque barnacle wound. This is not just a simple blemish. It is a vivid testament to the relentless struggle for survival in the natural world. As the camera zooms in, the viewer is confronted with a shocking reality. The beluga's body is a battleground, a canvas of nature's darker side. The barnacles, small crustaceans that cling to the skin of marine animals, have taken hold in a grotesque display of parasitism. Each barnacle, resembling a tiny white volcano, has burrowed into the whale's flesh, creating a gaping wound that oozes and festers. It is a sight that elicits both horror and fascination, a reminder of the brutal realities of life beneath the waves. Barnacle infestation is a phenomenon that occurs when these opportunistic creatures find a suitable host. Belugas, with their thick blubber and gentle demeanor, are not immune to this invasion. The barnacles latch onto the whale's skin, feeding on the nutrients and blood, while simultaneously causing immense pain and suffering. As they multiply, they create a colony that can grow to alarming sizes, leading to infections and, in severe cases, death. The beluga. In the icy expanse of the Arctic, where the sun barely pierces the perpetual twilight, a creature of majestic power and grace roams the frozen landscape. The polar bear, a symbol of strength and survival, is often seen as the apex predator of this harsh environment. But beneath its thick white fur lies a dark and disturbing reality, a horrific barnacle wound that tells a story of suffering and survival. Imagine, if you will, a once proud bear, now marred by a grotesque infestation that clings to its skin like a sinister second skin. This is not just a tale of nature's brutality. It is a chilling reminder of the interconnectedness of life and the often unseen consequences of our actions. As we delve deeper into the life of this unfortunate polar bear, we must confront the unsettling truth about barnacle infestations. Barnacles, those seemingly innocuous crustaceans, are notorious for their ability to latch onto any surface, including the skin of marine mammals. They begin their life as free-swimming larvae, drifting through the ocean until they find a suitable host. Once they settle, they secrete a powerful adhesive that binds them to their chosen surface, often causing significant harm in the process. In the case of our polar bear, the barnacles have burrowed into its flesh, creating open wounds that ooze with infection. The bear's once pristine coat is now a patchwork of white fur and grotesque barnacle shells, a haunting image that speaks to the fragility of life in the Arctic. The infestation is not merely a cosmetic issue, it poses severe health risks to the bear. The barnacles feed on the bear's flesh, drawing nutrients from its body and leaving it weakened and vulnerable. The open wounds become breeding grounds for bacteria, leading to infections that can spread rapidly. In the unforgiving Arctic environment, where food is scarce and survival is a daily struggle, this bear faces an uphill battle against not only the elements, but also the parasitic invaders that threaten its very existence. In the heart of the African savanna, where the sun blazes down and the air shimmers with heat, a creature of elegance and power prowls. The leopard, a master of stealth and grace, is often seen as the epitome of wild beauty. But today, we delve into a darker tale, one that reveals the hidden horrors lurking beneath its spotted coat. Imagine, if you will, a majestic leopard, its muscles rippling beneath its skin, but marred by a grotesque wound, a barnacle-like growth festering on its flank. This is not a scene from a horror film. It is a stark reality of nature's cruel hand. As we zoom in on this unfortunate feline, the barnacle wound becomes a focal point of our exploration. This grotesque affliction is not merely a surface injury, it is a gateway to a world of parasitic infestation. The barnacle, a crustacean that typically clings to rocks and ships, has found an unlikely host in this leopard. It is a testament to the adaptability of life, but also a reminder of the fragility of existence. The barnacle, with its hard shell and spiny appendages, burrows into the leopard's flesh, feeding off its blood and nutrients. The wound is not just a physical blemish, it is a breeding ground for bacteria and other parasites, creating a perfect storm of infection and decay. As we examine the wound more closely, we can see the telltale signs of a parasitic invasion. The skin around the barnacle is inflamed, a vivid red that contrasts sharply with the leopard's golden fur. Pus oozes from the edges, a foul-smelling concoction of dead tissue and bacteria. This is the reality of parasitism, a brutal relationship where one organism